Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is Norm, and we're on the product team at Data Curation Experts. And we've been talking to people about our hosted repository called Tenejo, and a lot of people are wondering about our approach to accessibility. And so, according to the CDC, 1 in 4 American adults deal with disabilities, and this is a real issue. And we just want to make sure that we are being very intentional about our approach, and we wanted to share a little bit about that with you. So, Norm, do you want to start us off with just a little background about accessibility?
Sure. So accessibility means reducing barriers for people with disabilities. Often a person with disabilities will need to navigate a website with a screen reader or a keyboard, or oftentimes some other device we may not have thought of.
Right. And so, what are some ways that we can measure the accessibility, and what can we measure?
Sure. So we use a couple of tools that are built into the browsers. One of them is called Google Lighthouse. The other one is called Axe Dev Tools by DQ, their accessibility company that does some great work for the community. Often these tools allow us, as we're developing, to see whether or not we're meeting some of those standards that are out there. One of the main standards that we try to strive for is the WCAG 2.1 AA rating. So as we're building things, that these tools will help us flag things or highlight things or help us make better decisions for people for accessibility.
And so, a lot of people talk about their application being accessible. What does that mean? Can we be 100% accessible?
No, there isn't. It just isn't possible. Things are constantly changing, and things maybe that just don't make sense in the context of what you're trying to share. It's a constant moving thing. So things may not always be up to date that you just didn't know about. So it's getting better and better every time, and definitely for sure, it's something to strive for.
Right. And so, what is our approach here at DCE and Tenejo with accessibility?
Sure, that's a great question. At DCE, we are constantly developing. Our development process includes accessibility. It's not an afterthought for us. We're striving as we're building features and the markup for new pages. It's our first thought as we're making things, is this accessible? And some of the things that we do is you're making sure that we have a sensible markup. You're making sure that the DOM order of the objects in there are in the order that we want to do them. And besides that, we also leverage the open source community of the stack that we use. There are often tools out there in open source that just make things easier for people with disabilities to see the sites as you're reading or understanding the sites that we built Tenejo. So a couple of examples that we have done on Tenejo is we've just recently built the theme builder. In the theme builder, one of the things that comes up is the color contrast. So as you select a color for the theme, we decide based on that luminosity whether the text will be black or white. So those are things that are out of the box will work for you in Tenejo. It's really kind of a neat thing. The other thing we're doing as we're building, where you're looking at the screen readers, does this make sense? One of the screen readers we use is Apple VoiceOver. As you're going through the site, it will actually tell you what someone who with a low vision or no vision would see the site or understand the site. The other one is the keyboard. As you're going through, having through back and forth of the keyboards, that's another best practice to as you're building the site. Does this make sense as you're going through reading it? We also make sure that the images have great alt tags. We make sure that the text has context and functionality aware, meaning that this button says, I will go here, and clearly describe what it is as you're going there. Those are the type of things that we do internally at TC.
Great. So if you have any questions about accessibility and our approach, if you would like a demo, please reach out to us. We will put some links into the description so that you can follow up with anything. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.